criteria from your own experience that will tell you a business is well run. It makes money. The employees are happy. The customers are happy. This is not rocket science. A well-run, aligned business produces results in every one of these areas, all at the same time.
Dr. George Labovitz, revealing the power of organizational alignment.
I asked the senior executives, 12 of them at FedEx, the same question I just asked you, and I got the same answers. Makes money, only they said keeps the customers satisfied, keeps the employees satisfied. I said, that's cool, and that's all I really wanted to make, the point I wanted to make, because they were asking me what were they going to get back for all the money we were proposing they give us. And I said, being a professor, answered the question with a question. I said, what do you expect a good business to do? And they said, financial return, employees and customers. And I said, that's what you're going to get back. Fred Smith got up at the meeting, stood up, and he said, not at Federal Express. And I was kind of stunned. And he said to his own people, he said, look, we are in the service business. How can we provide world-class service without world-class people? So at Federal Express, he said, it has to be people, service or customer, profit, in that order. I thought that was brilliant. If you invest in your people, train them well, manage them well, lead them well, and focus them on improving processes and service to your customers, you get profit. Profit's the dependent variable. Profit's the rewards you get for doing these things very, very well.
Dr. George Labovitz counsels corporate executives on organizational alignment and integration strategies. He is the founder of Organizational Dynamics, twice named one of Inc. magazine's fastest-growing companies. With ODI, he has 30 years of experience helping world-class companies achieve and maintain organizational alignment.
Imagine for your organization if all of the critical shareholders, the stakeholders in your business, were really all working together, integrated, aligned, working in concert to drive growth and profit for the business. Imagine what you could accomplish. That's what alignment's all about. You can reach into a snowbank, for those of us who remember snow, and grab a handful of snow and throw it, and it will just dissipate. Or you can take the time to take that same handful of snow and pack it and shape it and round it and smooth it and tighten it so that you can send it where you want it to go. That's the process of alignment. And that's what world-class organizations do. It is not easy. And the reason it is so hard for organizations to get aligned and to stay aligned is because it's not a natural act. Built into the very structure or the genetic code of organizations is the possibility for misalignment, misinformation, ineffective. A few years ago, I was sent an article written by a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist said, if you want to understand organizations, think of them as families. And that made a lot of sense to me because I'm a psychologist by trade, social psychologist by trade. And this guy said, all organizations, like a family, need a father. And the fathers personify what the organization does. So in a sales organization, the fathers are the salespeople. In an R&D lab, it's the scientists. They don't want to be bothered with process. Give me the job, give me the objective, give me the goals, and get out of the way. Then he went on to say, all organizations, like a family, have children. And the children, he said, are the employees. He went on to say, like children in a family, children in an organization need to be nurtured. They need to be developed. They need to be trained. Finally, he said, all organizations, like a family, need a mother. And when you boil it all down, most of the time it's the mother in the family that's worried about nurturing the kids and worrying about family resources. And he said that job is the job of management in an organization. And that made the most sense to me of all. That's what we do. That's the management hat that most of us in this room wear at some point or other. When you're an outhouse consultant, as I am, and you go into organizations, one of the first things you do is you talk to the children in those organizations. And the children often describe management as mothers. In fact, what they say is, those mothers in management. So I'm delighted to be here this afternoon to talk to you mothers about making your organizations more effective.
Dr. George Labovitz is the author of the best-selling book, The Power of Alignment, and co-author of the 1993 bestseller, Making Quality Work. An award-winning professor at Boston University, his articles appear in numerous distinguished publications, including the Wall Street Journal and Fortune magazine.
Does anybody here have an MBA? Anybody got an MBA? A fair number, but a lot of you don't have MBAs. I'm a professor in an MBA program. Therefore, I think it's my personal responsibility to provide those of you who do not have an MBA, those of you who are not professionally trained executives, a quick and dirty course in management. It'll take about 7 minutes, and then you'll be the equal of your colleagues with MBAs. And the best management training film ever made, I believe, is the movie The 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston. Have you all seen the movie The 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston? We got it? Yul Brynner, Edward G. Robinson, Deborah Kerr, I think. The screen opens, and you see 30,000 slaves. This is 4,500 years ago in the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. There's a tumult of activity. And it seems that all of them are being whipped all at the same time. And they're lugging blocks of granite around. And in one scene, they swoop in. You may remember, 200 slaves are on a rope. At the other end of the rope is a block of granite about as big as that backdrop. How do they move this immense block of granite? With rollers. They take rollers and they put it under the front and they pull the block of granite, and then they get the roller from the back and they run to the front and they do it again, and so on. This big thing trundles along, and suddenly one of the slaves trips and falls underneath the roller and gets squished. That scene brings tears to the eyes of any CEO who sees it. It is beautiful. No union, high productivity, good quality. The darn things are still there. And it's all managed. All of this activity is all managed, all run, and all coordinated by one guy who never leaves his tent. Vincent Price.
In 1979, Dr. Labovitz received Boston University's Metcalf Cup and Prize, awarded to the most outstanding teacher of the 2,500-member faculty. He draws on his experience as an educator to inform and entertain audiences, revealing the power of alignment.
How does he get 30,000 people who don't want to be there to go out into the hot sun and build a pyramid for the pharaoh? And the answer is he uses principles of organization that are rational, that make sense. And those principles work for Vincent Price as he builds his pyramid. The problem, as you will see, is they won't work for you. It's called structure in organizational theory. So you got span of control, division of labor, scale of process, and structure, and you can organize anything. You can destroy Carthage. You move elephants over the Alps. You can conquer the known world. You can put railroads across North America. But you can't run a modern, high-technology-based business this way.
Dr. George Labovitz holds advanced degrees from Boston College and The Ohio State University. He served in the Air Force as a pilot and aircraft commander with the rank of captain. He draws on all these experiences to reveal the power of organizational alignment.